How's it going, y'all? Quick apologies if you have already clicked the link for IG and you did not see this video pop up. Technical difficulties, redoing it right now. So thank you for coming back if you did. Going to go over some technique tips that I use in order to really focus on training my back. Start off with the first T-bar row. Okay, so here you're going to see I'm going to get a good stretch right from the beginning, and then, I mess these up too. You're going to see reps 3 and 4, maybe 5 too, where I'm shorting a little bit and then I reset. So that one I felt okay, and then I start slowing down and I make sure that I'm getting a good deep stretch from each pull. So that's something to keep in mind if you're training for hypertrophy reasons, right? It's not about just getting the movement done. It's about making sure that you're getting an adequate stretch and then contraction. So the lengthen portion has now, I guess, been proven, or I guess the most up-to-date science-based evidence for training has shown that the lengthen stretch position of a muscle is going to yield a little bit better results, and that contraction isn't as necessary as a lot of people thought. And if you've trained back for a while, you kind of figure that out on your own, because you'll feel the muscle, the target muscle, being pulled, and then when you actually contract that area, you're going to also feel that activated. And so back is one of those muscles where it's difficult for a lot of people to connect with because they can't see it. And so on top of that, right, you can't see it, that means that you've got to be a little bit more focused on the training portion, because it's easy to get distracted if you're not watching it. And so that's why you'll see me on this one, and you're going to see me on a single arm dumbbell row, where I'll let the movement get in the way of me really focusing on getting a nice, repeatable, uniform rep. That also bleeds into a reason why you should be trying to get these very robotic, repeatable reps, is because over time, if you do this long enough, you're going to want to be able to have a baseline. And if your baseline is always shifting because you're using some momentum or some body English, then you really aren't ever going to be able to accurately gauge your progress. Obviously, you can see if you're getting stronger with the weights and everything, but there comes a point where strength only matters so much, because maybe your muscle that you're trying to target isn't growing. And the reason for that is because you are cheating or using some body English to do that exercise where your other muscles are taking over. So that's something to remember. And this is pertinent to intermediate to advanced lifters, because newbies, beginning lifters are really going to kind of grow from anything. Okay, so pretty much you can throw anything at the wall and you're going to get some kind of results from it. So take this, for what it is. If you're a newer lifter, don't really focus too much on this, right? You want to keep it in the back of your mind, but you really want to put more of your time and attention on, or at least in my opinion, on developing the good habits from just showing up to the gym consistently, making sure you're doing your workouts. Obviously, this is a big one, making sure that you're doing clean reps, but sometimes that's overwhelming for someone who is learning everything for the first time, and for them to make sure and focus on this really granular detail may be too much. I would much rather that person not get discouraged from being overwhelmed and just get in the gym, right? Because that's the most important, right? So next one, this is that dumbbell single arm row that I was talking about. You're going to see that I'm doing some pauses, and you're also, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've mentioned it before, this is the beginning of my training block, and so I'm not using any kind of straps or belts in order to really make sure and milk everything that I can out of these first couple of weeks, and I'm not overreaching, so that by the end of my third block, I'm not completely just smashed into the ground and I can still perform well. So that's the reasoning behind that. I don't have anything against belts or straps. It's just for me personally, I know that I'll probably overreach if I start out right out of the gate with them on, because they do help. I mean, that's the whole purpose, is for you to be able to not worry about your grip as much. And then as you get into heavier weight, obviously the belt's protective, and a good reminder to brace your core. But you can see this last rep, I slowed down again because I got a little bit too out of control. Let me go back real quick. Watch. So here you're gonna see, start off, and then I start kind of going a little bit too fast, especially compared to my right arm. So there we go. Slow down, pause, just a half second or a second pause. That's all you need. Just make sure and get that stretch. And I'd much rather get a partial from the lengthened portion than shorten my range of motion and try and get the contraction. It's going to yield better results. So here's the last exercise I'm going to show you guys. This one is this hammer strength high to low pull down. I really like this one. It's one of my favorites. You can adjust the seat position to make sure that you are getting a full stretch without, if you just extend your arms fully and you are not hitting the stopper, the bumper on the backside, then it's going to be repeatable every single time. Just let your arms go and come back and pull. So yeah, great exercise, hitting that upper back. And then if you can kind of change the position, bring your seat up a little bit more, you can also kind of focus on that lower lat insertion. But right now, the upper back has been the focus. So those are a couple of tips, the way that I train, kind of reasoning behind it. Let me know what you think. If you use these same tips, if you have anything for me, I'd love to hear it. Comment down below, subscribe. And as always, I will see you guys as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.